Alright, well, I've been at an auction all day. I'm going back tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a bunch of equipment. Some tractors I want to look at, and there's some backhoes too. I don't think I'll be able to afford any of it. But, man, I bought a bunch of stuff today. Big bucket of chain. Good brand new chain. That bucket's also full of chain. Got more chains over there. Got all that grease. A little bucket's full of self-tapping like sheet metal screws. I got that sharpshooter over there. I got this type of sharpshooter. I got a lasso. It's kind of cool. I got that tub of, I don't really know what that is, like shop vac hose or something. Bought a little sprayer tank, and it's got a wand with it, and I bought also this little pump, and these I believe had gone together. They were separate in separate buckets, but so I don't know if that works. We'll find out, but you know, it's cheap. You buy it in a bucket with some other stuff. The other thing is I bought this little PTO pump. It was super cheap. It might be seized up though. I was just looking at it. I can't turn it just sitting here. Well, I'll mess with it some more later. This obviously broke off, but this may be no good. I may be able to repair it though, so we'll take it apart and see what's going on with it. And so then I may use this instead of that other one from AgriSupply. But this is different though, in that the input and output size looks to be the same. So usually the suction side is bigger, but on this one they're the same. So I would have to have the 3/4 inch suction hose instead of the 1 inch. That stuff is still not got here yet, by the way. They threw that little thing in there into this bag, and it's just full of random screws, and there's a tap and drill bits and stuff. This was in one of the buckets, kind of handy. It's just a like a screwdriver set, a bunch of different bits and stuff. It's kind of rusty, but you know, whatever. And then this, he opened this up, and I saw this drill bit in there, and I was like, I want that, because I don't like the one I have for drilling holes in my trees. Hey, those starting to kind of look brown, by the way. That's cool. So I wanted to get one of this style for doing that in the future. I happened to see it in there, and so it was $5, and he threw in this rigid pipe wrench. So rigid brand 18-inch pipe wrench. That's awesome. I got this. This is a little weight that you throw out in the water whenever you're fishing to mark a spot so that you can go back to it and find it. And the weight sinks down, and then the ball stays up on top. My parents fish a lot, so I'll give that to them. I don't really know what this is, but I have one. So, and then I don't know if this works either, but cool little battery charger. I bought this, which was full of a bunch of tools and stuff. Not all of these screwdrivers came out of there, but because I just wanted this bag. And then that, I bought that whole tub and that's what had the lasso and some other stuff in it, just because I wanted this sweet Stabilo label. So these things are really expensive. Show you some stuff on it there. Yeah, they're very expensive, high-end labels made in Germany. So I just wanted that label. I mean, it's like level. I wanted that level. That's like a $90, $100 level, something like that. And so I think I bought that tub, which had a bunch of other crap in it, and it was like $15. So cool. And this, I wanted this bag because I've got a tool bag like this that I keep tools in. I've been thinking it would be handy whenever I'm going out to work my cows to have a bag that I can throw all this stuff in, because everything, you throw it on the back of that four-wheeler and it just bounces around and goes everywhere. And then, oh yeah, elephant in the room here, bought a hay spike. So this will go on the front of my tractor, and that's the plan anyway. I'm gonna have to modify it. This isn't the right kind of hookups for my Westendorf loader, but I'll just I'll cut these little brackets that they have built, and that's pretty custom anyway. I'll cut those off, and then I'll fabricate something. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna need to do yet. We'll set it up there next to it one of these days and we'll come up with a plan. But okay, anyway, so I mean, geez, I got a ton of screwdrivers. That looks like a Klein, but I doubt it actually is. U.S. patent on it. If it were a Klein, it would say Klein on it somewhere. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with everything. I'm excited to have this. This will be nice for catching calves. We'll see if that'll be a lot better than the way I've had to do it before. So, and then battery charger. I don't know if that works, but it's always handy to have, right? So we'll plug it in and test it. Actually, I've got a dead battery in that red 4-wheeler. Maybe I'll go get that battery and we'll plug this in and see if it works. But, all right, well, I'm gonna get all this crap kind of put up. We'll probably just dump all the tools in this bag for now, just to get them out of my way. Got a pair of channel locks. I got pressure gauge too. That's kind of cool. So this would have actually been perfect to use on my spray rig, and it would have been basically free because I got it with some other crap. Oh well, though, I already bought one. So, and then, oh, and I forgot to say this, I will build up, I'll either have to buy a new pump for it, or if this one works, then great. And then I can put this on my 4-wheeler and do just spot spraying. Like I could mix Roundup and go kill like the fence over here, or I could mix up whatever 2,4-D and just go spot spray specific plants, or just little stuff is my goal for that. And then I'll have, of course, a big sprayer for doing big projects like all of that. So, all right, get this cleaned up, and then gotta go look at the girls. So tomorrow we're not supposed to have any rain. We'll see. You know how weathermen are. Liars. But looking like we're going to have clear skies for now. We haven't had much rain. We had a little bit today, but it wasn't that much though. So I need to go look at the creek, the actual crossing, and see. But I bet I could get them across no problem right now. So tomorrow I'm planning on going back to that auction, and just because I want to see some tractors. I don't think I'll be able to buy anything though. I don't think I can afford any of it. So I'm sitting here debating on, should I skip the auction and get a move back across tomorrow, or could I still go in the morning, then come back here in the afternoon and then move them. It's going to be easier this time because I don't have to work them through the head gate. I just have to get them across the creek, so should be easier. Now I need to go to Shakota tomorrow anyway, and that auction's in between me and Shakota. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go to that auction in the morning, and then go to Shakota. I got to go check my P.O. box. I'm expecting some mail, and then and I got to get some feed. So I'll go get feed, check the P.O. box, and then come back here and try to move them tomorrow afternoon. I think that's the plan. Now, Sunday it's supposed to rain, so I don't want to try and move them then. And there's still grass left out here for them. I don't think it's enough though to get them through a whole nother week. So I think that'll be the best thing to do. And then hopefully my new sprayer parts get here soon, and then we can start spraying out here. Although it's supposed to rain all next week, so that sucks. But yeah, we'll see. That might change, So I think that's gonna be the plan. Tomorrow we'll go check out that auction, and we'll see. I don't know if you never know. When you go to an auction, you never know who's gonna show up. Today though, when I was there, and so they do this auction every year. It's a big consignment auction. This year though, they had 2 farm sellouts, an estate sale, and some other stuff. And then the guy that does the auction, he was kind of changing up his business, I guess. I don't quite know what that means. I don't know exactly what his business was before, what he's changing it to. But so he was selling off a bunch of stuff. And so they did it today. They did all of that stuff, and then tomorrow is the actual consignment sale. What's up, 15? Man, there's a lot of good tractors here too. I'd really like to have one of like 12 different tractors that are there. There's a big Massey Ferguson that I really liked. There's a Mahindra that I like. There's a couple Kubotas, several John Deeres, and you know, when I say I like them, I mean I like all of those tractors out there. Almost all of them are better than what I have. But they're the ones that I might actually be able to afford, and they're the lower trim packages, don't have cabs on them. Like, I just can't afford a cab tractor, as nice as it would be. That's just not the cards. So they sold one cab tractor there today. No, I'm sorry, they sold three actually, but they sold one of them sold for $46,000. So I don't think I'm going to be getting a cab tractor. See her eye? The one on the left side of the screen there. See the discharge on her cheek. 23's got pink eye. So once I get them moved back across, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put electric fence around my hay barn, and then I'm going to turn them all in there for a day or so, and then sometime while they're in there, I'll work them through and get the ones like that that have pink eye. There's a calf. Where'd he go? That one right there with the milk on his face. See, it's the eye on the right side of the screen in this case, by the ear tag there, number 9. He looks like he has pink eye as well. And there's a couple other calves that look like they have pink eye. So, in fact, one of those white ones right there, I believe, the one on the right side, I think that one also is looking like it has pink eye. So we'll get them worked through, the ones that have pink eye or something like that. And number 40, I just remembered, I need to go find her and look at that abscess. I may need to, I probably need to do something about that. I'm not sure what it is, so I'll call my vet and see what he recommends. And I may need to take her into him. But anyway, we'll get them in there, and that's all. It's growing. It's really tall right now. So I'll just let them be in there with the hay barn, except I'll fence off the actual hay barn with hot wire. Hopefully that'll keep them out of there. And I'll probably try to do like 2 strands since it's super short, or maybe even 4. I might be able to do that. That way the calves don't get in there, because I don't want them to tear up the hay bales. But we'll let them eat all that down for me and mow that. And then we'll work the ones through that I need to do something about. Here comes 23. Maybe she'll look over at me. Yeah, see all that discharge on her face? So that's probably pink eye. Anyway, we'll fix those problems, and then I will start rotating them after a day or two. I'll actually start rotating them in the other pasture across the creek. And I've got my hot wire trunk line all set up and ready over there, so I'm ready to go. So that's nice to have that done. And then I haven't done the hot wire on the other pastures yet, because as of right now, there's not enough grass there to support daily rotations. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that exactly. I need to get that sprayed. But I've got some projects coming up and some stuff that needs to get done, and it's mostly just dependent on the grass itself. Now, if you remember, that's a pasture that I had kind of intentionally overgrazed, trying to control broom sedge. But I think I kind of made a mistake on that one, because now it's not ready, and I'm about to be. So it won't take them long to work through the pasture that I'm moving them to, and then I'm going to need more grass, and it's not there yet. So I can put them over in the pasture where my biochar setup is for a while. There's no water over there for them though, so I'll have to either fence a lane back to water in the other pasture, or just leave it open and just try to rotate them through there. So that might buy me a little bit more time. And the grass is growing really good. There's just not a whole lot of it in that pasture yet. It's mostly weeds right now. I really need the weather to warm up so my Bermuda kicks off. Once the Bermuda grass kicks off, then I'll have a lot more forage, but that's got to start growing first. It's not quite there yet. Any day now, I think, it should start growing. So, I mean, really, it should be growing already. I'm surprised I haven't seen it in there yet. So, anyway, just some thoughts. I think that's the plan. Turn your head, number 9. Just kind of got something in that eye too. It's unusual for them to have pink eye in both eyes, but it's possible. So, alright. If I remember, I'm going to try and video some of these tractors selling, the ones that I want. I'll show them to you guys. I may not remember though, so, you know, whatever. Either way, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I'm out here at this auction. If I could help it, I would really like to take this trailer home. But this thing is sweet. I bet I can't afford it. It's got a winch up here on the front of it, battery. Pretty cool. Drive right over the top of those fenders. That's the way they're built. Made just for hauling equipment. So dovetail on it. Got the ramps. Good supports on them back there. They got the spring assist so you can pick them back up because they're heavy. Now if I can't get this one, I wouldn't mind having this one either. I don't like it quite as well. No winch on it. But it looks pretty good. I'd take it. So this one's a PJ. No title on that one. This one's also probably going to be real expensive though. So there's one more, let me show you. That one I might be able to afford. So this one, a little bit longer than that other black one. It's a PJ as well. As you can see, floor is completely rotten. They've replaced a bunch of it with just sheet metal, so it needs a new floor. Now that might make this one cheap enough that I could actually buy it. Maybe not though. Wood's not that expensive. So this would be a sweet trailer to have. So they're not here yet. There's going to be a little while, I think, before they get here, but I want to see these sell. $23 for speed rate, guys. $2,300. You want to get 30? 2,300, 2,300, 2,400, 24, 25, 24, 6, $2,600. 25, 7, 6, 25, 2,600, 5, 7, 25, 7, 6, 25, 2,600, 7, 6, 25 and 6. So it's $2,500. Put on the bird. $2,500. Look what I bought. Little welder. So it's not running right now. So I went to O'Reilly's and got a new battery. It's right there. And it turns over. It's not seized up or anything. And then it wouldn't start though. So I pulled the plugs and they look terrible. So I replaced the plugs and it almost started. So I've started taking this apart a little bit. I've got a new fuel line for it and filter. So we'll pull this old fuel line. I'll get the whole tank out of there. It's up underneath there. It's going to be kind of hard to get to. We'll work on that tomorrow though. We'll get that tank pulled out, and I suspect there's going to be water in the fuel. That fuel's probably no good. So yeah, we'll get that all, or dump all that fuel out, replace it, replace that fuel line, and then we'll have new plugs, new battery, new fuel filter, new fuel line, and new fuel in it, and then we'll see if we can get started again. Now, I paid $1,100 for this, which, you know, it's not cheap, but for what this is, it's a pretty good deal, I think. So I figured this little trailer is probably worth, a couple $100 maybe, 150, I don't know. It's nothing special. The tires are good on it though, and I mean, it pulls fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not much. And then what's cool though is this comes with some nice heavy leads. And let's see here. Yeah, so these are 1/0 leads. And then it's got this hooked up to it. So it looks like there's probably 75 feet of leads on each side. Maybe a little bit more, maybe closer to 100. So in any case though, that's like 200 feet of that cable. That's like $300 by itself just to buy that heavy cable. Now what we'll do here is I'll take these off, and then on my little extra bits there, I'll cut off just like some little stubs, and we'll put Tweco brand quick connects on hanging off of all 4 of these, and then the actual leads will get the other end of that, and then I'll just turn those into extension cords with the same type of leads. So anyway, not running yet, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to fix it, because like I said, it almost fired off. I think it's just got bad fuel in it. So they said this had been sitting for about 2 years. Is that right? No, this one, it was like 3 or 4 years. This came off an estate, and the dude's been dead for like 3 or 4 years, so it's been sitting for a long time. The battery that was in it was a 2014, the old one, so pretty old, and explains why it wasn't any good. And so I'm guessing that gas, I mean, it could be 6 years old, that fuel that's in there, and it's probably got water in it. So anyway, sweet little welder though, hopefully, if it works, and convenient on my little trailer, so I'm excited about that. And really, the only other thing I bought today, I bought those those ratcheting boomers, and then I picked up, it's just laying back here, I'm about to pull this out, but this is it's a Delta joiner, and this is for my dad. He's been wanting one. He does some woodworking and stuff. I picked that up for $30, which is a steal of a deal. That's awesome. And it's Delta brand. Let me tell you that it's cast iron. It is solid. That sucker is heavy. And then if you look at like the Central Machinery, like the Harbor Freight ones, you know, they cost like $150, but that guard will be made out of plastic. When you find one of these used at an auction or a yard sale or something somewhere, that guard is always broke off. That one is, I believe it's cast aluminum, so it ain't gonna break. So pretty good quality machines. It's got a little bit of surface rust on it, but the table's in really good shape. Other than that, it doesn't have any big like nicks or dings, gouges and stuff like that out of it. It's just a little bit of surface rust, and that'll clean right off. Won't be anything wrong with it. So it should be a good little joiner for him. And what this is you shave down the thickness of a board, and it smooths it out too. If you have boards that have a little bit of like a bow, you can actually take the bow out with one of these. So super useful machine if you're trying to do like cabinetry type woodworking, you know, kind of precision. And yeah, so excited. Was able to get that for him. He'll be stoked about it. So anyway, that's all I got today. Wasn't able to get a gooseneck trailer or tractor. There's one I was really close on. Is old Massey Ferguson, huge, nice big tractor, 4-wheel drive, but it was a 80-something horse. But it just got to be too much. So anyway, it's all good. The other thing I noticed on this is that spark plug wire's cracked, so I'll probably want to replace that at some point. It's not very long, so it'd be a cheap wire. And if I do this one, I'll probably just go ahead and do the other side too. It's a 2-cylinder. So yeah, and then like this type of stuff, I'm assuming this is a governor in here for the generator. That may not be it, but that looks to me like a solid state digital governor. But usually I don't know, there's no speed drip adjustment, but I think that's what's going on there. And then this is the solenoid that adjusts your RPM. Starter on that side. Everything else looks like it should be okay. I was going to say though, like these connections have been kind of chewed up, so I'm going to have to do some rewiring on this to get it to run correctly. And I could have to, if that is the governor, I might have to replace it. So I've downloaded a manual. I'm going to read through that tonight and see what I can find. Oops. Stay on there. As far as getting it running. So anyway, this will be great if it works. I've really been needing this. Oh, check this out. This is perfect. Ha! Free tools. So remember my little pump that I got over here. Alright, her. It needs a thing like this. I can't believe that was in there. That's awesome. Oh, come on. Can't do it with one hand. Well, anyway, so I noticed on my 4-wheeler, I've got these 2 studs, and I thought, well, maybe that's for jumping it off or something. And then I was thinking about it, though, and that's perfect. If I have these little clips on here, then I can just set the pump right up here and power it just off of those clips. How handy is that? So I bet that's what that's actually designed for. So give me a second. I'm gonna get this plugged up and we'll hook it up to the battery here on the four-wheeler and we'll see if it works. All right, let's find out. Ooh, it tried. That ground clamp's pretty rusty. Hey, she works. Sweet. That's cool. So this end, there's supposed to be a little retention clip on here and it's not there, but this is the suction side and it's got an O-ring on it. So this side doesn't actually see pressure. So I don't know if that will work or not, but yeah, the little pump works. And now I got my alligator clips, for turning it on. So cool. Even better. So let me get that joiner out of the truck and let's see if that works. Hopefully it does. If not, we'll just get a replacement motor for it and we'll be good to go. My goodness, this thing probably weighs close to 100 pounds. Like, no joke, I think the top of that thing, it's got to be at least 80. It's seriously heavy. Pull this guard out of the way so we can see. Got it plugged in. Perfect. Very cool. Let me see if I can find a board real quick. It doesn't have any nails in it. Doesn't have any on the bottom. Oh, it's kind of dirty. Yeah, let's try it. Let's see if I can turn this thing. So the way this works is you can loosen this up and adjust the fence over the top of the knives there, and then this one you can turn this, and so you can create like a beveled edge if you wanted to. If you didn't want it to be square, you could make it offset, and then of course you can also just zero this in so that it's nice and square. Let's see if it works. Okay, so the table's out of adjustment. Let me play with it for a minute. I'll show you. Okay, played with it just a little bit. Made one pass already. Let's see if I can do another one one-handed. These machines are kind of dangerous because those knives are just spinning right there. This should actually be spring-loaded so it comes back and covers it, but it doesn't. Little hiccup there at the end. I hit that knot, but I don't know, can you guys tell how nice and straight that is? It's a little out of square, which just means that this fence needs to be adjusted, but that's a reasonably good cut. Didn't like the knot over here, but yeah, that's awesome. So you can adjust this with this little handle down here, and if you have something that you want to have fitted up very precisely, you can adjust this so that you're taking like 0.010 of an inch off of your board. That way it'll fit up just perfect. So anyway, awesome. Everything works. So we'll get this covered up best I can until I can get back over to see my folks and get this delivered. So there you go, Dad. Got a joiner. So awesome.